which are very manmohak, I must say.
Yes.
Any significance in there, sir?
The same as you have said. The Hindi words are very manmohak. So the subject tallied with those words. So I've intentionally used Hindi words. Please.
अस्सलाम
Welcome.
तौबा का ताल्लुक दिल से है, लेकिन अगर इंसान तौबा करता है, फिर करता है, फिर गुनाह होता है, फिर करता है, फिर तो क्या वो बार बार तौबा करने से अपने किसी दर्जे को तो नहीं कम करता है, या अपने माल में, या तौबा से वो वापस अपनी पहली सी हालत में आ जाता है?
This is a question which is very difficult to answer because all the various factors concerning each person who indulges in such things are variable factors. And only Allah knows how to reward or punish such people, because the intensity of tawbah and the situation which is responsible for the break of such a tawbah, they are all so many factors. I mean, within them there are so many shades. It's impossible for an outside observer to judge and declare what's going to happen to such a person. But generally speaking, repeated error is a dangerous game. This is a general view. Particularly if you observe a repeated error in human beings, that ultimately turns into cancer. For instance, Dr. Mujib perhaps would bear me out that some ulcers which are not attended to earlier, some tumors which are not cared for in time, gradually by the repetition of irritation, they tend to become malignant. So this is why they are removed in time or cured in time. Otherwise, undetected sources of irritation generally tend to end up into cancer. According to the Holy Quran, the situations prevailing outside human beings are similar to the situation within human beings. Situation within human beings, which are physical phenomena, are similar to the situations which are spiritually happening to mankind. And all three are related, in fact. So from this we can safely infer that however strong the tawbah may be, it is always better to be on the safe side. Moreover, we don't know whether a tawbah really deleted all the effects or not. If some effects were not deleted and there was a mounting inward crime, that could lead to a different situation. Even if you look at it otherwise, repeated mistakes and repeated tawbah, in some ways, I don't know, but in some ways I can visualize could be all right for somebody, good for somebody. Allah knows the weaknesses of every individual, and this is why He has not declared His judgment on those people who have mixed affairs. For instance, the Holy Quran says that some of the people would be adjudged as good, some would be adjudged as bad, and there will be some khalatu amalan salihun wa sayya. What are the exact words? Wa akhara sayya. Who said it? आपको याद है आयत पूरी? खलतु यस ये निकाल लीजिए. So that shows that it is with Allah to pardon them or not to pardon them. So it's not for me to opine on such a thing, because when the Holy Quran clearly makes it known to us that such people stand in the danger of not being forgiven, and also can be forgiven. Why these two aspects are mentioned? Because the factors are variable and we don't know. Right? Please. Another question?
Yes.
Yes.
हजूर उर्दू में करूँगा.
Yes.
हजूर इंसान रूहानी हालत में अगर एक दफ़ा किसी लज्जत को पाता है नमाज में या कैसे भी, तो फिर वो चाहता है कि वो उस लज्जत को पकड़े रखे या वो लज्जत वो मज़ा उसको मिलता रहे बार बार. लेकिन क्या वजह है कि वो बहुत ज़्यादा वक्त तक उस मज़े में नहीं रह सकता है, फिर नमाज़ों को छोड़ता है या थोड़ा बहुत बुराई की तरफ जाता है?
Again, this is a generalization. You want me to give my verdict on a particular event in general terms. This is not possible. Every particular event is different from other, and generalization cannot be made. But if you forget the individual idiosyncrasies and talk just in generalities, again I should like to draw your attention to the general phenomena of nature, that always things are variable and changing. Even in the physical being that we have, you like sugar, for instance. Some people have sweet tooth, like Imran has, haven't you? Yes, you told me this morning, didn't you? Yes. So, but if they go on eating sugar, the intensity of pleasure would go on decreasing until a break-even time would reach, where they would say, all right, I can have it and not have it, And then when they overdo it, like sometimes Imran does, then you feel loathsome, about sugar, and sometimes you feel nauseated and even vomit. So these things happen because, not that sugar is bad, because the capabilities to absorb sugar differ from person to person. The threshold of everybody is different. So after a while, you stop eating sugar for a while and then again it comes back. So this is true with every pleasure. Pleasure has a mounting demand when you are missing it for a while. And it is highly intensified to begin with. But the moment you indulge in it, it begins to lose interest in you until you think that you never desired it. And that is also a time of tawbah for many sinners. They think it is tawbah. And they think they are re-indulging in the sin, while it is not tawbah. It is like the tawbah of a man who has eaten too much sugar and does not want to eat it anymore. So that state of affair where one criminal finds himself after a crime has satiated his requirement, that is mistaken as tawbah. It is not tawbah. It is like the tawbah of a poet, as Ghalib says, रात थी जमजम पे मैं और सुबह दम धोए धब्बे जामे ihram के. That all night we kept drinking by the side of Ab Zamzam, the fountain of Zamzam. And in the morning we wash the spots and stains caused by the wine. That is a sort of tawbah. And again, a poetic tawbah is described that Jame mein tawbah shikan, tawbah meri jam shikan, सामने ढेर हैं टूटे हुए पैमानों के. That Jame mein tawbah shikan, a cup of wine, breaks my tawbah, knows how to break it. And my tawbah knows